Being 5:30, this is the Tilton Northfield Fire District Commissioners meeting. It is August 25th, 2026. We're at the Park Street Station. Those present include the commissioners, the chief, Deputy Chief Stetson, Kathy, representatives from SMP and EPS, as well as from the Building Committee, Kevin Waldron and Helen Hardenberg. Welcome, and thank you all for being here. First order of business, I guess, is let's do a quick introduction again and move forward with, are we doing, we see in here, agreement?
We didn't know if we have it, so we don't have it. I don't think we have anything yet in writing. I think we were going to meet tonight, discuss, and then whatever.
Okay.
Figure out how we want to
All right.
get that agreement to our lawyer.
So you're welcome to join us up at the table so we can have a frank discussion on a couple of things that we want to talk about. When is that coming?
I haven't even started it. I haven't had a chance. I just got back today.
So again, remind me.
I'm Tnfd, I'm president.
Very good.
Nice to see you.
Hi, Jason, good to see you. Welcome back.
Happy to be here, guys. Thank you for the opportunity. It's pretty excited about it.
Well, one of the things that we wanted to cover, which is obviously Jason showing us some of the plans as to where we're at this point, but also talking about public outreach. And in your proposal, you had offered website support, and I guess
Yes.
I wanted us to hear a little bit about what does that mean? What do you?
So we would, we're finding that people want a little more support in both website and some social media help on occasion. So we have some folks that we can bring to the table and build a website for you. I don't think it's appropriate for us to manage the website for obvious reasons. But typically it's handled by a Friends of Tilton Northfield Fire Department or something like that. But we have folks behind us that can help with that and get it set up.
And what degree of help do they offer?
It'll be a website that we can add to, keep facts going, from design to commonly asked questions to a fact sheet. We can talk about deficiencies and reasons for the proposed project. We can hit, those are kind of the typical items. And as we lead closer to vote, we can post tax impact and items like that in there and keep people informed.
Well, one of the things that interested me about that discussion was we at the fire department, correct me if I'm wrong, and the building committee as well, we don't have a strong social media type
and you're not
person
alone.
and marketing
You're
type
not alone.
person.
Yeah.
And I think we have trouble trying to keep the fire department site updated and putting stuff out there, making content that would be appropriate.
Keith, would we be able to do like a tour of the existing station kind of video?
I think we could do some videos on there that would be helpful.
I think that's one thing that could kind of jumpstart the need. I mean, I know the community's been talking about this a long time, but I'm sure a lot of your town members have not been through the stations and understand, really what your working conditions are. Might be good to show them.
With those videos, Jason, it may be a case where they're on the website with a link to YouTube, so you're visiting on there and it hits. And typically, it's kind of like how ours is set up here. You end up clicking a link and it brings you to YouTube to watch the video.
Okay.
But it has worked in the past. We try to not be the folks running it because typically if we get too involved in that, the Attorney General gets on the website. So, and if it's a friends of, you can encourage people to vote in the affirmative, where we can, you know. It can be a fact-based situation, but oftentimes there's a friends of Tilton Northfield Fire Department that might run a Facebook page that's very pro-project.
Thought of that. This was one of the items that they had listed on the proposal as an add-on, if you were interested. I shared last night at the building committee meeting that working with somebody I know in marketing, and talked about, could I have them help with doing a video, because we had talked about that before.
Yeah.
And trying to move that idea forward, as you said. You know, and they're like, well, here, I'll give you a camera to use. It's like,
Yeah, no, I want real help.
right, well, real help. But one of the suggestions was then to do a similar, you know, so his thought was somebody from the fire department, you, Rick, somebody would point out things throughout the building, you know, what the space is, what it's for, the deficiencies in the space, or what makes the space difficult, or whatever. And then you would back that up with a video, maybe at another fire station, with, you know, how a current fire station works and what it looks like at a current fire station. And then, you know, and one of the things that we talked about last night was then you can pull stuff off of that and do a side-by-side narration with it, so that you could post that in other places besides just video.
And I wonder if Winnisquam has a photography program or anything like that, or an AV program. Some of these schools have pretty in-depth video programs where we may be able to grab a kid to come and work with Chief.
A volunteer.
We know anybody over there?
A volunteer.
Who just happens to be younger.
Yeah, a younger volunteer
With a school for Tilton School.
who's looking
Yes.
for a little extra credit or something.
I can reach out to my contacts in both places, and I know where to start. I know where I can get. I could have that answer quickly, whether it's affirmative or negative, probably.
And we're not talking minutes. It's,
Yeah.
you know, a 60 to 90 second kind of video. If it's too long, people won't watch.
Yeah, I think
Right.
more short videos is better than one long.
Just tell them we want to make a bunch of TikToks and we'll probably have all kinds of volunteers.
Volunteers and experts.
With their own followers and millions of subscribers.
I mean, I am not an AV, I am not a social media guy, but I have a pseudo plan I was going to go over with you tonight. Obviously, I sent that email out earlier with that news release I wanted to send out, and then I was hopefully going to start doing videos next week. Again, if I'm taking the video, it's probably not great, but
Looks better than no videos.
it's better than no videos, yeah. So,
You almost don't want it too polished.
yeah. Okay. I mean, I could,
Nice, but, you know, not.
yeah.
Yeah.
I brought up and I put it on the agenda for the website of PTS because I didn't know what it meant either. Our website, I can post things and I can post documents. I think it's sometimes difficult to find them. I don't, Helen could probably attest to that. Helen's on our building committee. I had to step her through how to get to that section on our website, for the building committee. I fumbled through our website. It's a nice looking website, but it is a little difficult to get things.
It's awkward.
I thought having a nice place where you could just go for the fire station, we could have a link and just go, but I don't know what that.
Yeah, but again, I haven't thought about that, but it should probably be a new website
Yeah.
with the friends of.
landing page that is tied to your website, so if somebody's searching through there, they still link to it,
And vice versa.
and vice versa.
All right, well, that's all very helpful information. I'm not sure that I want to move forward with
I hear you.
your plan, but I'd like to follow up with the marketing person I was talking to, and then follow up with if you can get any support from either of the schools.
Mhm.
And then maybe we can lay out a plan after that. But that's been very helpful, thank you. Any thoughts or questions? Paul, you want to take this on as a second?
You're asking me to. So,
You're talking about videos, people are looking and you turn out here in Hopkinton, the chief was big on, they didn't have proper storage. And the UV, I'm watching the sun come in on your gear. You're just talking about the effect of UV on the gear and stuff like that. And, you know, just a quick 90-second video of, hey, we need a spot. We can save money on our gear if we're not eating up with daily sunshine when it's not in use, you know, kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I don't know if you've been to the Center Street station, it won't take much to show the working conditions at Center
Oh,
Street
that's a
Station.
good. Oh, I've been there. But
You have to start with the snare.
That's a 90-second video in itself, just going on the stage.
it sure is. Yeah.
All right, well, thank you, that's very helpful. I think that's a good thought-provoking. Do you want to continue with that discussion on your...
If you want to do that now, or
Yeah.
you want, so I sent you guys, it was just a draft of a news release I'd like to put out either tomorrow or next day. I asked both BPS and Jason to send me a couple, a couple sentence bio or something to throw in here. I got the one from Keith. Jason, I hadn't heard from you, so I was gonna,
I'll get it to you tomorrow.
I don't know if you saw the rest of what I wrote up. Are you okay if I put that out, or I mean, you don't have to tell me now. You can, if you have any comments, anything you'd like to change. I'd just like to get that out on the webpage now. We need to start letting people know we're getting into the process. Let people know, hey, we picked SMP, we partnered with SMP, we partnered with BPS. This is us moving forward. Just start getting at least just words out there, so people aren't, when we come in November, they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. And so I was, I've been a little delayed getting this out. I think now's a good time to get it out now that we have BPS on board.
Where else should we put that besides our website?
So I was going to put it on the website, the Facebook page, and then we have a press release website. Sometimes it gets posted, sometimes no. It goes up to Laconia Daily Sun, Concord Monitor, Union Leader. It goes up to WMUR. Now I'm sure WMUR is not going to report on us pairing with BPS. But even if the Daily Sun picks it up and runs an article, it's great. Just any exposure I think is going to be good exposure. So it'll be on Facebook, Instagram, our website, and then I'd send it out to that normal press release. And at least get that out there so people will see that.
Does that also include the Northfield newsletter?
It does not, but I can send that to Stephanie.
Stephanie?
Yep, I usually do send press releases to both town administrators, but I can see if Stephanie wants to put that in there. Unfortunately, they think the September one just came out. But,
Daylight and down there, sure.
yeah.
Did you have any issues with that?
Front page, last paragraph. Word at. Get the flow of the word at as well as.
Where's it?
Oh, you're right.
It seems like it would be as well as, or?
I think that's what I meant.
Okay.
Yep. I think maybe I added the word through as well at. I think I had as well at public information centers, and then that whole sentence, now that I read it, I don't like it. No, we do not pay for Grammarly.
Yay!
No. Yeah, and there was a little bit more on the back. And
Yeah.
obviously, when JC gets it, I'll stamp it in there too.
Maybe I'll have to keep throwing. His was pretty good.
Did you see it?
He was,
Do we give him permission to send that?
I don't think no,
Okay.
that's an operational decision.
All right.
I would like your permission, but I just want to I don't want to do this if you don't want me to do it.
No, absolutely, and, you know,
Somebody's bound to read it,
Yeah.
and somebody's bound to share. And then talk to friends and so on and so on.
And I'm going to really try to be better, at least once a week, put something out. Whether it's something about a video, something, I'm going to really try to focus on that now. Now that September's here, we really need to, you know, and try to open up my office for people to want to come in, ask questions. I'm not good at answering questions on Facebook. I hope people are okay with that. I don't have it on my phone. I don't have it on my work phone. I only,
Typically, it's good to get information out there, but if you've got a website where frequently asked questions, somebody asks a question on Facebook, you can say, see our frequently asked questions page and answer it there.
yeah.
That's the best way to respond and not get drawn into
Yeah,
Facebook conversation.
about 4 years ago when I started our Facebook page, I got drawn into a conversation once, and I said I will never do that again. I deleted from every app and everything on my phone.
But it is an effective communication.
Yes.
So if you can use it that way and just keep directing people back to the website, go see our frequently asked questions, and then you answer it in one place. That's been really effective because we've had other clients get drawn into Facebook conversations.
They can always reach out for an email or.
But too,
Yep.
And you
For
can
more
then
detail.
absolutely.
parameters of your comment.
Yeah, it's tough because we're a municipality, so I can either shut them off or turn them on. It's a very, I went to a social media class, and because we are a public entity, we kind of have to allow public comment or not allow public comment. There's only certain things we have to really deem it like a hate speech thing to be able to delete it. Just because we don't like what somebody says doesn't mean I can delete it. It really has to be egregious for me to delete comments or limit a person's participation in that comment. But I can shut them off for everybody, and that's fine. But I don't like doing that. I don't know if
Some
that's.
positivity that you get out of it.
Yes. So depending what it is, we don't often shut off comments, but once in a great while we will.
Yeah. The important thing is to keep it, is to correct factual or, mistakes.
Yeah.
Somebody's still going to think you're trying to build a $23 million facility or whatever it was last year, right? 21, excuse me. Sorry.
Oh, it was only.
Right, so somebody's going to think that it's still that cost, no matter how much we say that it's something else. So it'll be important to keep it accurate.
all right, did you have anything else on that?
No, that's all I had on that, on the news release for now. Yep.
All right, any questions? All right. Can we move to Jason and a review of the schematics as to where we're at right now?
We can do that. I have one question
Yeah.
relative to public engagement.
Okay.
We talked about doing some events or tours or open houses or something. Is now a good time to kind of focus in on when and what's the format? Or we can come back to that if you'd like.
I guess I'd be looking for suggestions.
Personally, I think setting something up in this facility as an open house style, we bring in some boards, we've got the screen, and let people see the existing facility. We could do this similar thing at Center Street, I suppose.
Yeah.
That feels like a really good format. Somebody can go spend 10 minutes here and ask questions, or spend a couple hours, have some refreshments.
Our last public information sessions, I felt like we got, even though there was negative feedback, I think, for the project itself, we got positive results from. That wasn't, we set it up, I think, a month before, said we're all going to be here. We set up boards, we had them come in,
Yep.
the public forum. I think each one we probably had 40 people maybe at each one, which was a pretty good showing.
We could do it as a presentation as well.
Yeah.
And we have done it once we had pricing and schematics.
Okay.
I'm not sure we want to wait that long this time.
I don't think we do. Usually we're doing it as we're developing the design so that people might have good ideas. It's nice to be able to respond to them without having to backtrack and redesign something. We're probably a little beyond that point, hopefully, during tonight's conversation, but I think it would be good to get the concept out there, particularly on the heels of the press release that you're putting out.
So we can follow that up a few days, a week later with some dates for a.
Yeah, and then we could do a second one when we have budgets, before we get into actual budget hearings and bond hearings, sort of all of the required items.
So is that something we should do like next month, in the next 4 weeks?
I would think so.
And how far apart would you do those two? If we did one here and one in Center Seat, which I think we should do. Would you do them back to back?
So if we-
it'd be different
If we did,
crowds, or would you do them a week apart, or what do you think?
well, normally we could do, if they were basically the same information, then yes, you could do them back to back a week apart. I think that would make sense. If it was one about the design and then another one about the design plus budget, then you probably need a little more time and space.
Last time we were here, the presentations were almost the same. We just gave opportunity for who could make Tuesdays or who could make Thursdays, who could
Right.
get select boards and planning boards. You know, it's like 10% of those meetings, 90% of the committees. That's the folks. We even had trouble scheduling meetings because, we don't schedule. But I think maybe a week apart, or a Wednesday here and Wednesday there, because the backdrop is big, is different. Sure. It could be the same boards, the same script, and say, hey, if you've never been to Park Street, come see Park Street. If you've never been to Park Street and never been to Center Street, go to Center Street. You got to make them content-wise, if I was close, as you could. Because some folks have been in both, some folks have been in neither. Maybe it's just some kind of whatever. Other than pointing out the features of each place.
I think that would work well, and then we'll have budgets after that.
And do like September, do one year, one there in September, and then get into October.
Yep.
With the numbers, because then you get into the budget season.
Yeah, I think we were talking about getting budget drawings to you guys in October for budget. Frankly, I feel like again, it depends on what I hear tonight. If you guys want scrap and start over, then that's a little bit different. But if we're in a good place tonight, I think we can get budget sets of drawings a little bit ahead of schedule. For all of us.
We don't know how to be ahead of schedule.
Well, and you said having as much fun up front
Yep.
to say, look, hey, that's a great point. And we went through that, and this is the exercise we went on to figure out decontamination, and this is the journey we went on for fitness. It's like, this is the backstory as to why this is, well, all right. None of us went through all those sessions, so, that, the sooner we can get that out there and hear it, say that's a great point. This is where we're at.
Weeknight, weekend, what are we thinking?
I'm thinking weeknight.
I would take a weeknight over a weekend.
I'm not sure to do 2 Wednesdays, because you might have people that.
Yeah, okay, well.
What, the Northfield Selectmen meet on Tuesdays,
Yeah.
1st and 3rd?
Yes, I think so.
Tilton
You're on the
is
second.
Thursday, 1st and 3rd.
Huh?
And Tilton is Thursday, 1st and 3rd.
Okay.
1st and 3rd?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm going to Tilton, I'm going Thursday the 3rd. Well, I will be at the Tilton both selectmen's meetings next week. So we'll get there first, kind of.
How many weeks do we need to publicize?
One of you. And if we can pick a date, and frankly, I didn't bring my calendar, so I might have to grab that. If we can pick a date and get it in that press release, that would be.
Starting the week of September 24th.
Let me go grab my calendar.
Tuesdays and Thursdays for meetings. Monday and a Wednesday meeting, to your point, to have them on different days.
Or just to do them on.
The off week, there's an off week in there.
Oh, there is an
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna suggest the 10th and the 16th, but the 10th might be too quick.
Yeah, you know,
That would be a
famous
Thursday.
to just getting back in school, you know, I think there's a pivot, you know, with where everybody's at. The first week or so.
In that week.
What about it?
I haven't been on this week here.
I think the 16th might be a good day.
How about the 15th?
Selectmen,
Northfield.
Northfield.
Northfield Select. Sixteenth doesn't work for you?
I'm conducting interviews every weekend.
Monday the 14th?
The fire station building is meeting.
I think they'd allow us.
Invite them.
So if you wanted to do like the 15th and the 17th, the 15th you could pick up Tilton and the 17th you could pick up Northfield.
Well, the other thing we don't know is we don't know what the school's doing. The first few weeks of school.
Which was the 17th. So Wednesday the 30th. That would work.
You don't think that's too far out?
If we could do the 14th or 15th and then the second one on the 30th? Spaced a little bit further apart, but work.
Same materials, just two different locations. I would put them back to back, 2 nights in a row.
So the 14th and the 15th.
If you got somebody that really wants to go to both places, that's a burden on folks to go, to take 2 nights out.
At this point, I'm not sure it's problematic to do it the week of the 28th. I mean, the sooner the better, but I also like the idea that you have more time to advertise, get website stuff set up, get FAQs done. That feels okay to me.
The first one may start with discussion and people are interested. There's another one in a couple of weeks, so we'll give them time to plan for it.
Yeah, but we're talking about the 14th, and that's one of the nights.
This is the
That's
third
way ahead.
Tuesday, yeah.
We're talking about the 14th of September for a meeting, for a open house. And that's one of your building committee nights. I assume that would be okay to truncate that?
That would be our next meeting.
Yes.
I proposed the 14th and then that last week.
What are you gonna have time to get ready by then?
Some drawings and conversation.
We won't have participation from the building committee because they won't have been able to do any prep work. So if you want to use that, you either have to do it after Monday or you have to have the building committee come in earlier, and that's Kevin's.
That's not a bad point.
No, that's a great point.
I mean,
You
I
wanna
think
do
you
both
want
the
to
week
use
of the
them as
28th?
part of it, so.
Oh, and we can't hear you, so we're gonna close the door because of the traffic going by.
Good idea.
Do you have any particular conflicts?
I don't have this kind of flexibility.
What does your calendar look like, 28th, 29th, 30th?
All over, all of it. As is October 1st, that the entire week there. once I get past the 25th, my schedule opens up completely.
You want to do a couple nights that week?
I'm fine with whatever you guys decide.
Yep.
I think staggering one each week also gives us time to have something on one. We really have to go back and collaborate on anything that we missed. You don't want to say, no, I want to stay after school on one, and you're going to come in the next night and do anything. We can, it gives us the option to just build if we needed to.
That's why I kind of like having them separated.
One each week. Because then you could actually open the second meeting with a little recap. Hey, this is kind of what we did. We're going to follow a very similar agenda, but here were some notes that came up on the first meeting, FAQs. Then you could lead with, hey, you know, we brought up this, we brought up this, we brought up this. If you're thinking that, this is what, you know, this is what we have just recently talked about in the library. And here's what we're going to do about it. Just gives you the option.
Well, if we did like the 30th and then October 8th or 6th or something,
Yeah.
that would give the building committee 2 meetings prior. And the commissioners will have a meeting in September. And they're pushing it too far out.
Do the 30th and the 7th. The 6th we can't do. So it's a selectmen's meeting.
Right.
We want to be on that Wednesday, probably.
Do you want to do 2 Wednesdays? You do that like the 29th and the 7th. That'd be a Tuesday and Wednesday. In case you have people that have.
That would work.
Yeah, that kind of thing. 2 separate weeks, different days of the week. It just gives more choices or options for.
So 9, 29, and what'd you say?
It's October 7th.
And the 7th. Thoughts on time? 5:30 is usually too early. 6:30.
What did we do last time?
We did,
I don't know.
I think it was around 6:30 to 7. I think it was around 6 or 6:30.
So people come after dinner.
Right.
Sounds better than too soon. I know we don't like when we do a district meeting at 7 because it goes for 3 hours, but this is just a 1 hour, 7 to 8-ish.
7 o'clock?
I'm fine with all of it. So once we get up to there, my wife's in a
I
play
think
and she's not gonna be home anyway.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, let's do 7 o'clock.
7 p.m. for both of them?
Yes.
So 7 p.m. Just so I can put it, locations, do you want to do Center Street first and Park Street, or Park Street first and Center Street?
I want to do 7 first.
Okay.
Just say
9:29 for summer.
7's not bad because it comes out like if somebody had a 5:30 or 6 o'clock meeting and they got done, they can scoot right over to our 7. There's less overlap that way with any perceived conflicts in other committees and stuff too.
Doing them in these buildings,
Yeah, one here and one on Center Street.
this audio and this echo.
What?
I'll talk loud.
So we're gonna call these information sessions.
Bring sound.
Yeah, we can break sound.
Because I used to have my
We did, when did we,
fucking calendars.
did we get it? Did we do something last time? We did. Paul Blaisdell brought us something. Did he?
Yeah.
Um,
We can break that. I can get sound too if we need to.
I think Paul brought it, maybe.
Are we thinking of just using the TV, or somebody have a screen?
We don't have a screen.
I can bring a projector, but we'll work through those details.
Yes.
We don't need to have it.
Right, any other?
That's the only other thing I had related to public meeting. All right.
I need to come up with an agenda. Yeah, let's look at some design.
All right. I'm starting with Sanborn Road, and it is 98% the same as what we looked at last time, with the addition of a space for the historic handhub, and somewhat of a redesign of the exterior, simplification of the exterior to make that work. So we still have all the admin wing, residential, day room, large duty office, and then all walkers in the hallway. So the 6 bunks and everything flows out. We did draw, finally got it on the sheet, the mezzanine plan. So mechanical centrally located, electric down on the end. We're anticipating a generator and transformer roughly in this space, working with the civil engineer on those and propane tanks. I understand that at Liberty there may be some flexibility.
From my understanding, they may open it for municipal use. I don't have any assurances. Right now, I know the answer is no, but then it may not be no soon.
Right, so for the purposes of this exercise,
Yeah.
we're planning on propane tanks.
Yeah.
I don't know if 2 is the right number, we haven't gotten to that level of detail. but-
Just in case you weren't aware, that they've told us, the gas company has told us that we shouldn't plan on
Yeah,
having
they
gas
kind
in it.
of tapped out.
So we were hoping to design the building so that we could convert to gas once the gas was available, but in the meantime, we would run people.
So what that would look like three-dimensionally, something like this.
Plow guys.
There's a little bit of a job.
It's a lot better than it was.
It's better than it was.
The plow guy is okay.
Well, and it's got a nice roof overhang.
That's what made it
Trying to
okay.
protect the doors. Yeah. And we haven't gotten to the detail, but we're showing a concrete apron out there. You could do a snow melt system in that if you were really concerned, and we could afford it. Coming around, kept the simple box in the back. Space for a patio, some kind of outdoor feature for the staff. Let me know if I'm going too fast. So
What's the
this,
scope on the apparatus bay?
the apparatus bay is a half on 12. Turning.
Can it be increased?
Probably could. And then, just because we've started integrating it, I realize we haven't talked about having solar panels or anything, but this building has near perfect solar orientation, and we can manage to keep this roof slope clean. I got 155 solar panels on there, so it's a fairly sizable array that you could support if you wanted, without putting anything on the apparatus bay, which could also house more panels. So there's really a great opportunity here.
Do you have standard numbers for what the return on investment is?
I haven't run those numbers in terms of what the size would be. We haven't done them in the loads and all that. That's a little bit energy more to get there. We could do that. All right. You want to see that again or move on to Park Street? Thoughts, comments?
Can we back inside for just the interior?
The floor plan. Sure. I was going to say I have a model.
No.
Something you want to zoom in on?
Did you get the size?
Hand tub.
Hand tub?
Yep, he has it in there. Yep, I sent him the size of the hand tub. Yep.
I just drew a box for it.
That's
but-
what I was thinking. But I want to be sure.
So Jason, and I don't want to take up our, we have a lot of people here and stuff, but there's like questions I have, like stuff like the apparatus bay bath. Can that door come out to the apparatus bay? Can we put a swap sink in there? Do you want me asking those questions now, or is that stuff we can figure out later
I think
on?
we could go through those in a work session.
Okay, that would be, yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I
You know.
think if we step back and think, what's the goal of this phase? It's to generally identify the scope of the building and get a budget.
Okay.
Stuff like moving a door, that doesn't cost anything.
Okay.
Right? So I think it's, we could have it. If we could hash it out now, that'd be great.
I have lots of notes, but we can, that's not for tonight.
There's 1,000 decisions you and I are going to make after
Right.
this passes next year.
Okay.
Barry's making notes too.
The chief's going to change stuff.
Doors, Velcro hinges, so.
So in terms of the scope, we're assuming we're okay with this, and there's no major comments of I don't like that, and we need to like the all glass entryway, right? We got some pretty distinct comments there. The next step is to turn this into a little set of documents and an outline specification and this assumption. So at that point, you and I can probably go through and review: is this a proper assumption in terms of fit, finish, quality? For instance, I'm assuming or anticipating that apparatus bay is going to have a radiant slab. Every station we've done has radiant in the apparatus bay. It's a great way to heat a tall space. It's a little bit of money, and then it has moldings as backup. But from a budget and efficiency standpoint, it's really a great way to do that. The next question is, will the rest of the facility have radiant as well, or are we just going to limit it to the apparatus bays? So I think we want to have those level of conversation once we start getting the engineers on board, which is going to happen in the next few weeks.
I wanted to follow up on Kevin's question on the roof pitch.
Sure.
Do you have the roof pitching to the back?
We have it pitching to the center right here with internal drains.
Oh, okay. I just wondered, you need more height in the back where you have the mezzanine.
It only slopes about 2 feet front to back. That's
So
it.
it's not a problem.
Not a problem. Until the structural engineers get in, it's really hard to say, but I don't anticipate it.
May I ask a question?
Yeah, no.
For the bays on, and this is partly a property question, the standpoint of property. Technically, if you look at it, you think, I can take that wall down and expand the number of bays if I need to.
This
If
right
I
here?
need to, is that correct?
Which wall?
The north wall.
That wall right there where he's got his mouse.
Okay.
How we're anticipating building the building? No. If you wanted it to be expandable, then we would just need to adjust the structural approach.
Because I've built warehouses that have walls that you can take down and
Yep.
push out.
Yep, absolutely. We could design it that way if
Would
that
that be much more cost?
I don't think so. The problem is we're anticipating a very large drainage retention area here. And if you wanted this to be expandable that way, then I think we would do a different site approach in terms of how we're dealing with stormwater, meaning underground chambers and those sorts of things. Those would add cost. So it's how far do you want to take planning for a potential expansion and how much of that cost would be borne now versus
I think
whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's just asking the question, that's not.
I think in terms of talking about the chief's 50-year plan is being able to just have 4 bays and have the flexibility for that level of equipment for the next several decades. And from a good neighbor standpoint, I think we're going to want to, setbacks we can get as close to that north side as we feasibly can, because I think the bigger concern in being good neighbors with the PD is having that middle as wide as we can.
Right.
We don't want to, if we get the land, we don't want to be doing too much planning on it. We're just basically kind of a favor to give up this, to get this, and then say, oh, well, we're going to need this.
Yeah.
You still got to live with, have the Parks Commission, have their stuff, but so getting it as far forward as possible, and, you know,
As far
to not disturb, you know, we want to be good neighbors with PD and the parks. I think that's going to be something that's going to come up.
So we don't
Start
have
talking
to
about
worry
it.
about it, it's basically what we're saying.
And I won't be the chief when
Yeah.
this is, I don't think anybody in the room will be the chief
Yeah.
when this happens, but when we need to expand beyond the size of this bay and the size of those bays, I think this site would be the better place to do that. I know it has restrictions, but we own all the way back to that green shed there. There is expansion. I mean, at some point, when we put the addition off here, this bay is gonna go away. Now, it could be 10 years, 20 years, it could be 160 years, just like the other one. But I think, in my opinion, I believe this is the expansion. We're also here, we're still closer to the target hazards here, so this is where you want, you know, this is, if we split you know, at that point, we'd be splitting a force of probably 10 to 12 people, when you're talking, you know, so that's, you know, if we have 12 people on shift, we'll be able to really move. I say we, again, I won't be, I will probably be in the veterans home if I'm anywhere in Tilton at that point. But, yeah, I think this site would be the site that you expand on.
And I think the one thing that we did that I would consider future-proofing is we enlarged the length of the bays to get to the next size ladder truck, if that was ever needed. Right now, you're running like a 39-foot, and we plan for up to a 45.
So we went to,
So,
in 2038, our ladder's due for replacement. If I'm, you know, the next chief, if he decides to go to a 100-foot stick and sell, and we went to Laconia. They have 2 different 100-foot ladders, and they'll both fit in here. So if we ever wanted to, if we ever deemed necessary to go to a 100-foot ladder, this station will accommodate it.
yeah, and we only needed
It was a couple more feet,
4
right?
or 5 feet. Yeah, it wasn't.
Okay, good, thank you.
Anything else on Sanborn Road? Was there something you wanted to look at?
No, I just had a job.
Okay. Any thoughts on the exterior? Comments? We still like it? We okay to move to the next phase on this one? All right. Let's look at Park Street. Park Street, option E. So, option E, and frankly, it was E and then we did F, and then I erased E and I called this one E improved. So remember, what we're trying to do is accommodate all the residential components as well as decon, and then address grading and, you know, access. So it's very similar to all the other options, but we still have public parking in the front. We still have additional parking off the dirt, the gravel drive back to the cell tower. In looking at this, we can get a ramp up the rear entry. So this is the staff vestibule. This is the public vestibule. Everybody can see this okay? And it all comes into a singular airlock. So this airlock leads from decon into the apparatus. So this is going to be our workhorse space. We're doing kind of all our air circulation and safety protocols in this one area. From that airlock, there is a public restroom. So I put it off of here with the idea that public could come in, this door would be locked. There could be a doorbell, ring, something to alert staff inside, and then somebody can come out and let them in so you know they're there and people aren't just walking into the vestibule using the bathroom. Plus, it also makes it more accessible to staff if they want to. Coming into the living space, day room, kitchen, we rearranged this a bit, tucked the janitor's closet in next to decon, moved the pantry down to here, still have the office space, there will be a couple of windows in there, and got a report area for 2 folks to be in there, and reasonably comfortable. It's tight quarters, but it's functional. From that space, we brought the fitness room back to the front, so it's away from the existing building, and we can get the high ceilings that we need to in a really efficient manner, and maintain these 6 individual bunk rooms.
And everybody gets a window.
Everybody gets a window. The bunk room 4 gets 3 windows, and a little bit more space. And then this is our emergency egress only on that side. Still have the 2 restrooms with built-in showers. We did not work to get a true laundry room in there, but the laundry area, you know, again, very efficient and functional. large deck area here. When we got into looking at the 3D model, we're actually able to expand this deck a little bit and get at grade. So this will be an at grade door. We can get an at grade entrance onto the deck as well. So no stairs. And so I think it enhances functionality without confusing the deck as a main entry point. And then we're still just punching one opening right through those windows over there. So we're hoping that the existing structure will accommodate. We're still maintaining two structurally independent pieces. So if the apparatus may ever want to be replaced in the future, that in 20 or 30 years, then the new building could remain untouched.
And you had all the mechanicals downstairs, which would be underneath the
Correct.
neighbor.
From this area, so you have to go outside to get into the basement. That's the one compromise, or one of the many compromises. But from this exterior walkway, you go down roughly a half a flight into the basement. We located IT in the one area of the basement that we know won't have plumbing, so we can rub plumbing around. We thought that was a good thing. Electrical, because we're bringing new underground, it's likely going to come in somewhere in this area, is what we're anticipating. And then mechanical sprinkler. You'll have some open space for general storage. I purposely didn't give you large doors, so you're not bringing big things down. I know you guys also travel. Sorry.
I throw everything away, they try to keep it.
He throws everything away.
Appreciate it. And we also managed to get it a little bit smaller, so we're 4,300 and change square feet. So we tightened it all. Other questions on this? You want to see 3D?
I want to see what it looks like from the
All
outside.
right. All right.
Get the whole highway department.
Yeah, we tried to put some context. So we did talk about the state of the existing siding on this building, and if we can afford to, re-siding the building. So we took some liberties and showed a design that re-sided it and changed out the doors. So, coming around. Chief, we also managed to get all the walkways for the building covered. So hopefully we can avoid, stuff like snow melt or kind of those expensive systems.
I saw that you tucked it up for the building. I was wondering if that's what it was. Yeah.
You'll see when we come around the rear.
Yep.
We did relocate the planting bed, so while not, let me flip back to the plan quick. While not ideal for plowing, right? I know.
Yeah, that Derek and I spoke about. He's like the fitness room's back out front, and and plowing is a big issue here, and it's because as you can see, it's a wide open spot. We push so much snow this way, and we're going to have to push more snow this way now, and the same with the back. And so we might have to get a loader involved in this. We plow everything with an 8.5-foot V-plow. The town doesn't plow us. We do all our plow routes, about an 8-hour plow route with an 8.5-foot V-plow. Now we're going to have more, but we're going to figure it out.
It's just a little bit more, and I tried to give you an area of pavement where you could swing and get
it
snow
in.
storage.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll put a couple ballers around this corner of the building.
I think that might be a good
They
idea.
have to plow around that monument area.
We plow to the monument. We don't plow on top of the monuments because, so that sun's right in my, the salt kills all the vegetation. So we plow to the monument, and that's why all the vegetation's dead before the monument. So we don't plow on top of that. And usually once a year we have to get a loader in here and move that snow already. So
We push that back probably another, I don't know, 30 feet.
And I spoke to the deputy, Mike Robinson, about, what we do with this monument. Maybe we move it to the island and not even have it. And then there's things we can do with that monument. It doesn't have to be in that specific spot.
Okay.
I'm not saying we don't want it there, but it's very easy
But
to.
if it's already moving once, and if it swung back a little bit into that alcove, then you could kind of shoot right past it.
Right past it, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we have options with that. We're not dead set on having it right there.
Well, and the orientation could be 19 rather than everybody leaving town.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
'cause that,
facing
You
this
could
way?
45 at the other direction.
Sure. Yeah. I think this could also be a good place for it too. You know, move the flag and everything, you know, basically re-landscape.
and I hate that we could have, even put it up in that, where the town of Northfield sign used to be, is a bad spot either. That's way up in the corner, nope, way left. We keep going left, keep going, right there.
Right there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I'm not saying it's bad, but it's just, that's the town of Northfield sign.
I don't know, personally, I like, if it's related to the fire department, I like it being associated with the building a little bit more. That feels a little too remote.
Yep.
I guess what we're all saying is we have options. All right. Coming around. So we kept it, again, very residential scale, keeping with what the building is, what your existing facility is. Going around the back, you can see that deck and on grade, one step. And then we were able to get that ramp covered. You'll get blowing snow, blowing rain, but, you know.
It's much better than all.
The majority of it, yeah. And I'd like to try and do it where we can hang it all off the existing building, but I haven't talked to the engineer. And then, no solar panels on this one, but we did do a quick solar study because you were talking about the sun and having these walkways shaded. By locating it along the back side, you know, this solar study is at 1 o'clock today. So, you know, this would get sun a big portion of the day, and I think be reasonably easy to maintain. Thoughts?
You go back down in elevation, that connect the roof line. I like what you've done there.
So this is going to require a metal roof or something, just because or a membrane roof or first standing seam. We're at a 2-on-12 to stay underneath that existing eave, but it does work. We are going to end up with only like 8-foot ceilings in that decon, vestibule, airlock, office area. It's a compromise, but I think it's a manageable compromise. Routing HVAC would be the trick.
I like it better than the flat roof.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No, I just like all the lines of the sugar from the top.
You swing back around the front and into that little.
Something like that. I hesitated with the fitness to do so much glass, but when we did small windows, the front of your building looked funny, so I figured we'll just get you some shades.
The guys don't mind.
Yeah.
Now the other window in that connector,
That's in the office area.
so couldn't it match?
It could. These are lower because of our ceiling height. I wanted to be able to maintain a sill height that you could push a desk up to and not have the windows be down.
We have some snow accumulation in front of it too, so
I think, yeah. May is pretty likely. What do you think of the red? That was, frankly, a debate in our office.
You asking me or them?
Everybody
I
throwing it out there for comment.
I'm not really.
I don't like it, but.
Does that mean we don't have to spend extra money for this fancy red paint on our vehicles? I mean, we spend a lot of money for that color. We were told we had that, but why the hell wouldn't we want a red building?
I didn't even notice what the Sanborn Road building was.
Same.
When I say I don't care what color it is. You could make it pink, green,
Let's cheat.
fuchsia.
It is, as long as we stay within the pre-finished color palette, it is a cost-neutral decision.
Yep.
And we don't need to decide now. What we do need to decide is what do you want to present to the public? gray is always non-controversial, let's say. We thought the red looked good, especially with the paint. And if you remember Sanborn Road,
It's right there.
Well, that's when you start to, you're gonna buy quantities of hard
Yeah.
plank, or, you know, those are those synergies we're trying to figure out.
absolutely, yeah, similar.
I mean, we do, it's all gonna be,
Yeah, similar windows, similar
That's
size,
all.
same manufacturer, yeah, so you're buying in scale.
yeah, absolutely.
And again, we don't need to decide that now, other than, are you okay presenting this publicly, and let's see what the public thinks, or do we feel strongly about it that we
From
want
a
to change
distance,
it?
I could have swore it was gonna say brick or a block. You know, it's harmonious to the neighborhood.
Yep.
You know.
And frankly, we started red here because, you know, we can't afford the all brick like what PD did, but we wanted something that did blend in a little bit more. And then it just made sense, if we're doing two stations to represent one organization, the buildings had some similar details and characteristics.
Makes sense.
Is that color in the, you know, that triangle area, is that the same color as on the PD?
It is, but we went darker on the Sanborn Road. Probably because I wasn't paying close enough attention. Throws my whole argument out the window, doesn't it? All right, thoughts?
Is this your red herring?
Ouch. Fortunately, we got that one on video.
We'll get some later.
All right,
I like how the grade worked out, because it's kind of a big question.
I think it works out well, and the fact that we can do it without stairs into the building makes me a lot more comfortable with this approach.
Good.
And by digging the basement, we're going to have some dirt to lose on site anyway. So.
I have a really stupid question about the color red. What about keeping it clean looking? If you show this, you know, and then it starts to get dirty from snow and rain and ice, does it show that much on the red as opposed to a more neutral color? Just asking the question.
You have to go out and look at how the road does, look at what it's doing to this color now. And we know guys with hoses,
Yeah.
I can wash the building.
Yeah, we pressure washed this building a month and a half ago, I think it was.
Can I let you know after I go back to Dubois and check it out? Because one portion of that building's red and the rest is gray.
Yeah, well, I just, you know, it's just a thought, because you don't want to have to get, you know, like monthly,
Oh, sure.
or whatever. Some colors don't take dirt and grime from the world around them very well.
Well, in that respect, it should all be brown.
Maybe.
Height
Or
of
you
it.
should, you know, apply the right kind of sand and salt. Oh, sand, you put it around, no visit with these
Same question as Sanborn Road. Same question as Sanborn Road. Are you folks comfortable with us moving ahead with this design concept?
I think you satisfied a lot of the concerns I had. I mean, obviously, I'm still concerned about the total cost
Yes.
and you know, putting recon in there, you know, we can have an argument, you know, the value and the sellability of that, which I think is strong. And I think we have to move forward with it.
Yeah.
And I think one of the other factors that we originally talked about was, you know, the roof line and that big flat roof between the two just didn't look good.
Yep.
So you solve that problem.
And frankly, I think we solved it more economically than what that flat roof was. And we're were able to compact this down, so we're not the full decon square footage added on to the last one, so we came up with more efficient. So I think this was worth the effort personally.
Like the whole multi-function airlock hub of sorts.
What do you think, Paul?
What happened to Plan
So
It's still around.
Plan A, the major difference between this and Plan A, correct me if I'm wrong, is Plan A just doesn't have decon.
Correct.
So this adds decon. This doesn't have the year storage.
Correct.
Because I think Plan B had decon and year. One of them I thought had both.
I think that might have been C, but I honestly lost track.
So sort of a compromise to go with having decon in the building, new decon, and then leaving the gear storage in the garage.
I came prepared tonight to defend Plan A, but after I printed out and I put Plan A against this plan, and really the only difference is the decon room and the bathroom that I asked you to put in for the public. It's the locker setup's the same. It's very, very similar to Plan A, except with the added decon, which I think is good.
One
I like-
question I had, Tim, from last night, wasn't there a comment about the decon room not being directly accessible from the bay and then going directly into the clean area?
Yeah, and if you look at one of the other plans, there's a lot more doorways and hallways.
Yeah, but this is still not solving his basic thought was get rid of it and use the one up in Sanborn Road if you need it.
Well, that was another thought. If you have a decon, if you have a need for decon, that's because of the type of call you went on, have everybody go to Sanborn Road and do all your decon there. If you have a heavy decon.
I think that a lot of the airlock, and I agree, and there's just no way around. Decon is not only the space, but there's also air pressurization that has to occur, and you have to have an airlock whether you like it or not. And I don't like it. It's the same thing with the energy code when you enter a building. We need a vestibule to have that. I think it's in my mind, I'm like, well, that's kind of stupid to have two doors, but with the pressurization of the building and stuff, you need to have those two doors. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jason?
No, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah, you need to have that.
The one compromise in this airlock is if you're arriving back on a truck and you need to go to decon, you're carrying dirty through the clean space. So when you clean, you've got to clean all the way up.
All the way out.
So that's just one more piece of it. In an ideal world, we'd have an exterior door or direct access from apparatus bay through a dedicated airlock into decon. But it just makes everything bigger and more complicated, and more doors and more circulation. And
Even so, they're coming through from the bay, they're going to the decon room, they go in, they do their thing, they go back out the same door they came in, all of that, excuse me, everybody, shit on them. How does that stay clean? How do you protect your firefighters that way? And how do you protect the people, the guests you're going to let in through the vestibule into that area, even though you're doing a lock before they can come in, so you know they're there. They're going into that same space. I'm just concerned. I have to agree with
How many structure fires a year are we talking, on average?
Then we clean up like probably 12 to 15 at the most.
And
It's not weekly, but you could have, you get one, you get three, you get none.
I'm concerned that that's your fault.
Well, that goes back to that, Plan A, which just didn't have any new decon in here at this building.
How did we get from Plan A to what is this, F?
E approved.
Because Plan A was what we said we wanted. How did we get here?
The commissioners had a discussion and we chose that we wanted to move forward with Plan A and a plan that had new decon. So we asked Jason to move forward with a decon solution.
I feel like there are too few people involved that know how hard it is to get a yes vote at our district meeting. And I also feel like some people who know are just pushing back against it. Everything you do that we don't absolutely need is no.
This was concept
We'll be lucky
How many square feet is that?
to get a yes on
4,015 versus 43. 300 square feet. 43 versus.
It's certainly not what was last go around, like 10.
Right, I just condensed it.
Yeah.
And still stayed out of the fall zone, except for the 10. Which we. Nobody's given me a clear answer. Is that a no way, Jose? Is it a recommendation?
Yeah, so tell us we can't tell that.
Yeah.
I like that we're aware of it, but I don't think it's an issue. I like that you kept the building out of it.
I think if we could, we should.
Right. You go back to 8.
So again, very, very, very similar.
How much equipment, new equipment, would you need for that decon?
We need a washer and dryer, like a industrial regular washer and dryer. And we would need, if we added it, currently we only have one SCBA washer, but we have 2 extractors and 2 dryers. Those are the big equipment, the extractor is the big money equipment in that room. I think the next one would be a dryer and a SCBA washer. I don't know which one's more expensive. But the only thing we don't have is a second SCBA washer. Personally, if we had to buy it today, I would tell you not to. I don't think the technology is there yet. I appreciate that we have an SCBA washer. It works okay. I just don't think the technology is there to justify a second one yet. So really the only thing we need for that decon room would be a washer and dryer, which we need at the other one too. I'd recommend getting, we have Speed Queen now. They're wonderful. They're a little bit more money, but I think they're $1,200 or $1,300. It's not, we're not talking $60,000, $70,000.
And then we're showing the big 5x5 decon shower and 2 basins. And just a cleaning table.
I don't know what an extractor costs now, but I know when we got the ones, they're very expensive, but we already have them.
Yeah, it depends on the size. I got all the equipment costs from New Boston.
Yeah.
Starting to think budget, so we can talk about that.
Yeah, we had got a quote from Daniels to remove them and then move them. I think it was $4,000 each way. I have that somewhere already. It's a lot cheaper than buying them.
Absolutely.
I was hoping, and tell me if this is not valid thought process, that we would move forward with both A and E so I could see what the price difference was.
We look to our building partners for that.
Because I think if we come down to the fact that at some point we're going to have to start making cuts, in my mind, the decon is going to be one.
Yeah, all 300 square feet, but 200.
Well, it's expensive square feet as compared to garage space.
Well, and also remember that E has the public restroom, A does not. So if we wanted to move forward with A,
I think this needs a little bit of an upgrade.
Could I ask, if the commission would say, go forward with E without the decon room, so it would almost be, you know, do the floor plan of, if you're gonna get a cost without a decon room, basically just take that decon, leave this exactly how it is, but take the decon room out, would that be?
Yeah.
Instead of I mean,
Just
that's
X this out,
basically
and then
A.
we would do a slightly, this airlock becomes the vestibule for everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah. So staff would walk straight in here. That would, you would cut that entire block out. Supervise the roof too.
yeah. I don't love getting rid of decon, the more I think about it, I know I go back and forth, and every meeting we have, I'm wishy-washy both ways on it, but, you know, I could, huh?
I'm glad you recognize.
No, I'm not, I am not innocent of many things, but I like this layout a little better than A's, and it's basically the same.
Hey, would it be that difficult to kind of price that as an alternate and just have one plan? Because I wouldn't want to say it could be this or it could be this, A or B. I'd like to say this is what we're proposing, and this is going to be priced as an alternate to see if we can afford it. Does that seem reasonable?
Yep. Right.
Does that also lower the cost of roof connecting, is that what you said?
And if we can,
And we might be away from metal roof.
potentially, yeah, if we narrow it up enough. I think we would just have to consider how do we cover the walkways, because I don't want to get into a situation where we've got high maintenance or shoveling, or we have to do snow belts or some other system that could fail. If we could just cover them, that would be the best way to go. Thoughts?
Is that all right?
Decision? We sticking with the red?
Sure. You said it didn't matter. Oh, usually for public outreach, we want the color, oh,
Yeah.
I don't know, what do you think? Do you have a thought on that, Alan?
I would rather have dark gray, but that's my opinion.
Instead of red and brown, you have to white and gray or something?
No,
I'd have to see how
you
red
do
it
the
is.
brick gray, but you do a dark, you do the brick red on the fronts, but you need to.
I think
I
if
would
they
think
were
you have
bright,
gray
it
in
would
that.
be better. I mean, you want something real bright like the fire trucks, that's where they got it.
Tim,
Yes, sir.
this plan shows renovations to this structure.
No?
Yeah, it does.
We're just
A door.
putting a
The
door.
doors, the siding,
Oh,
so you're paying, if that's part of that, you're paying for a siding job and doors for 30 years. The bond is for a new building. Any renovation here can easily be accomplished from the CIP without borrowing money.
Much like,
very valid.
much like we were talking decon and vestibule, I was thinking that siding overhead door replacement would be priced as a separate piece. How about fun?
It's still bonded on it, because we're going for a bond for X.
Well, it doesn't
And if anything's on this building including it, I'm telling you,
But
you
if
have
we-
to have experienced how we get
But if we
yes
make it,
votes and no votes.
if we make a payment reduction against it from the fund for that, and we can speak to that, say, well, listen, the best deal on material was to buy aggregate, and the best, labor price was to bid it in aggregate, and then we get that spec'd out for $1 amount, and we write a check out of the building fund, cash money for that.
And it's not bond.
That's an accounting practice. You get a bond for them. Or we make a bond payment equivalent to that amount out of, that's bookkeeping. That's not borrowing. It's money we already have.
But it's money that you could use towards the new building too. Yeah, we'll need to keep that separate. So,
Yeah, I
I
think.
mean, these doors work. Wow. You saw them go down.
Yeah, I was thinking the siding and overhead door replacement would be breakout costs.
yes.
Do it, don't do it, kind of thing. The only dare I say, renovations other than this would be the addition of a fire suppression system, which, that's just running some pipe through. We'll have to find a place to do a dry system for the attic. You know, we're trying to not do anything that triggers move a wall, tear this apart. So, because once you pull that string, it's going to unravel.
Good.
All right. E with some options. So now we're going to get rid of all those, and this will just be the Park Street design.
And a front end loader.
What's that?
And a front end loader, because it's not.
That comes out of the apparatus.
I'll let you figure that out later. All right. That was pretty much all I had to show.
Only, so we talked a little bit about, at the walkthrough, about Center Street, and just wondering if there's a plan for Center Street.
Well, the plan is after the construction is completed and we move out of that building, the building will likely be raised, and there's a committee working to hammer out the details of that land swap.
Yep, I only mention that in the same spirit of what you're talking about is bond vote. What do you do in the existing station? And I don't know is always a big, that's 35 minutes of your life you'll never get back. You know? And it's nice, whatever the plan is, somebody will like it and somebody won't like it, but having that plan I think is
Yes, and we'll work on
nice.
And the funds for that wouldn't be.
Okay, so we don't have to worry about that at all.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Are we including the demolition of that in this budget?
That would be another land and building fund expense.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I thought, that's up to you guys, but I thought that was the plan. You know, we had some rough quotes and costs. We talked to Spears Brothers and Porter and some other.
Sure.
So no rough numbers.
But thank you for, being on top of that thought.
Just stuff that's caught us in the past.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hard. If you have a building that, I think that building is a building that everyone in town, or both towns, is tired of. Whether you're a fireman or a taxpayer or whatever. It doesn't owe you anything.
Well, it's funny, one of the thoughts, last meeting that we had here, I'm still sitting here, or standing here talking, and somebody's backing in that fire truck, and it just comes underneath that. And I go, well, we buy the trucks a little bit smaller statute to fit in them. So now, without that limitation, when we buy a new truck, we can't park it there. Unless
We've already thought about that, and there's things we can do. We've already,
But anyway,
but the
those
tall
are
ones can
things
be
you
parked.
think about.
We did have a mutual aid truck, probably 20 years ago, hit one of those.
Did it stay hanging?
Yeah, no, it just kind of, it just bent it a little bit and then broke a light. Yeah, 18, 19 years ago, probably. As far as the commissioner's agreement, Keith, are you available tomorrow to talk? And we'll get that drawn up somehow and get to the lawyers so we can get it to the commission to get you officially signed on and all that stuff.
Yeah. A lot of times we do the AIA, we talk. I know you don't want to do that, but I'll comb through. There might be an AIA document that's just pre-con, that's really simple.
Okay.
You're thinking like a couple pages,
Yeah,
fill in the blanks kind of thing.
I guess you guys have to feel comfortable. We have to feel comfortable. We can work through that. I'll get DTC.
I'm comfortable with no contract, so whatever works.
Really
We'll find
good.
something.
These gentlemen have to be comfortable also.
Yeah.
So.
I
can
am.
move on. That's old school.
Handshakes and smiles are okay, but I'll just make a note to look at AIA.
And normally I would have reached out to DTC already, but unfortunately I've been gone, so I just got back today and didn't get a chance to reach out yet. So.
I'll take a look and see if there's something easy.
All right, we got plenty of other stuff on the agenda, so we're gonna move forward. I don't know, do they need to stay for anything? I don't think so. All right, so, unless we have any public comment that relates to building that you wanna bring up?
No, I think discussions so far was pretty good.
Okay. Like, before they leave, if there's anything,
The public comment in this agenda is further down.
it's next.
You can't hear me in this building, can you, Tim? The public comment is further down,
It's actually the
agenda.
next item on the agenda.
but it's further down than it
No, it isn't.
No, it's in there
Right
twice,
after
Kevin.
specification.
is twice.
It's in there twice.
Francis Francis Kaufman.
Hey,
It's,
J'ai pas voir bonjour, it's like a vendor, it's the whole thing. Just a compliments. It's not just any retirement, it's yours. So can't be coming to last a lifetime.
right, but we moved it down tonight to accomplish this meeting.
so if someone
And,
had something relevant before this took place, you missed it.
Well, now's your opportunity.
So, in the meeting where you voted to hire GPS, negotiations were on. Did you try to negotiate GPS at all? Did you ask them, hey, can you get us to district meeting at no cost?
We did not.
You did not. And there's no concern amongst the commissioner on how that vote came to be.
I can speak for myself. I want to take their proposal. I don't want to do anything that would alienate, put a bad taste in anybody's mouth, because we need to work with these people for the next year, 2, 3, whatever it takes. And I don't want to get in a piss match over.
We do have a note in there, though, that if it doesn't pass, we waive that fee. But if it doesn't pass, you don't have to.
When do you get that fee?
After it, well, actually, let's see how we set it up. I forget the number, chief, was it?
$7,500.
$7,500. And we set it up saying that if it passes, it would be $7,500, and we can get that all the way through after we've established a guaranteed maximum price and bidding is done. So we could do that. We could make it part of the GMP, so it's billed after the project starts. But we thought there was some rationality in there with having, if it fails, you don't owe us anything. And then we had a note in there that, hey, we'll maintain that $7,500 through a positive bond vote for, I think my wording was, for as long as you'll have us, kind of situation.
If public comment had been earlier in the meeting, I would have asked you to reconsider how that whole vote came to be, because of the relationship between Home Beautiful and Bond Davidson. Obviously, that got flushed down the toilet. Nobody cares. That's going to be an issue.
I didn't care, you brought it up, but I didn't have a problem. I would have said something about that, but Home Beautiful had relationships with several vendors. So to me, that was a wash. That wasn't steering, that wasn't monopoly, that wasn't a...
That's not my point. My point is,
Oh my gosh.
whether it's with 1 or 100,
Yeah.
the relationship exists and should have been disclosed to the public. So now what happens when we get the yes vote, we build the building, Home Beautiful bids the flooring and gets the
Well, when we get to sit down with the construction manager and choose subs or not choose subs, that's an open, and that's a conversation where Paul would probably recuse himself when we go to flooring sub or an electrical. Like, if I had a relationship with a plumber or electrician or something, I would disclose, hey, I use this electrician, I use this roofer, and I use this paver. So when we talk about those trades, I would recuse myself. And I think when we get to that phase, when we're gonna go through and look at all the bids and all that would be an appropriate time. But not to,
The recusal should have taken place previously. Or at least a disclosure, and neither of those happened. Doesn't pass the smell test.
The conversation was brought up, and that's when Paul indicated that he worked with a lot of the vendors.
So if you've worked with someone, you don't vote to hire them, whether it's one or how many. That's all. It's going to be an issue. Sure as we're all in this room right now, it's going to be an issue.
You make it one building.
yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you know, how many walls you want to rip open for termites? You just, I think we ran it clean, and if I did, and I went back and I read the note about the pre-vote fee or not, because that was a factor for me. We had vendors that were waiving the fee. This had a different structure, and I went back and reread the stuff over the weekend. So I didn't have to come in and say, and bring that up about getting us to the, because for me it was one of the considerations of, okay, we're not, if this doesn't pass, but in all fairness, if it does pass, I think they should get paid, any vendor should get paid for the work they did today. So I thought that was a great way to structure it.
I mean, we can sit here and find all kinds of reasons not to move forward and build a new building.
And you know people do that.
Well, because we've talked about that before. We have those people in town who don't think there's any reason, there's nothing wrong with the current department, they do a great job, we don't need to spend any money. And then, you know, if it was completely paid for, we'd have people that would vote against it because it costs more to heat and we're gonna have more maintenance or whatever.
You're right, we've killed that horse many times.
So, you know, do we use any one of those little hiccups along the way to prevent us from moving forward? I mean, you know, and if somebody wants to get hung up about that stuff, well, you know, we can only tell you what we tell you, and if you know, you're not going to support us, the fire district, and you're not going to support the project, you know, we can't make everybody happy. And I'm okay with that.
Oh, I am too, but you got to make 2/3 of the people happy.
I understand. So, you know, I want to move forward with what do we need to do to get the word out, to get people on board with us. That's what I want to do. I want us to hear and talk about, you know, all those people who aren't going to be supportive no matter what we do. Let's talk about the people who we have a chance of being supported. And just, you know, do a good job. All right, anything else?
No, I'm fine.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
Good to see you. Karen, good to see you.
Thanks.
Nice to meet you.
Have a great night.
Thank you very much, sir.
The other two berries?
Are there any more questions?
I can't wait.
That's just doing this.
All right, do we have any correspondence?
No.
Okay. Committee reports, building committee update. Kevin, do you want to give an update on the building committee?
I don't know, there's one to give, is there?
I don't know. I was at last night.
Yeah, we had 4 people for a quorum, and the meeting lasted all of
So we
55 minutes.
we had 5 people there, Alan, Kevin, myself, Derek, and Scott. We talked about a few items, some of which came up tonight.
Videos.
We talked about doing public outreach and doing videos showing the current state of the current facilities so that we could sort of educate the district members to the current state of things. There was we had a discussion about, which is something I was going to bring up, we can probably bring it up now. We talked about the building committee, Scott's trying to schedule a date with you and, but there was talk about, there's 4 people on that committee. And whether there should maybe be a 5th, and whether the committee should have somebody on it from Northfield. Is that accurate to what we
Yeah.
talked about? So I was wanting to bring it up amongst the commissioners to see if we wanted to reach out to, one of the people that came up, just casually in discussion was about Stephanie over at the Northfield Town Hall. Whether she'd be willing to do it.
Or one of the selectmen.
So I guess, the question to the commission is, do we want to seek somebody from Northfield to be, join that committee?
You can make the offer, but the 2 parcels in question are in Tilton. But if Northfield wants to have representation, we'll talk about what's.
Well, the other thing is.
Tilton is concerned about what they would be, what costs they would incur on the Tilton side, on the taxpayer, town side. Northfield may express concerns, second question, Northfield per se, on the North through the tax office, other than fire district, if there's any impact on the fire district, what's the fire district paying? And that has an impact. So I don't know, the only way to know is to ask the Northfield selectmen if they want to send a participant, or if they feel it's that the commissioner delegate working with the town on swapping 2 parcels in another town. I would feel awkward if Northfield was trying to give a piece of land to the park from the highway garage or vice versa. And because we have Tilton Northfield Lone Day or something, or fireworks, or fire, you know what I mean? Well, let's ask Tilton. It's a good neighbor thing to do, but I don't, I could build a case for it against it.
Well, the committee's not making any final decision.
Right. It's information that goes back to those that are voting. It's an open meeting. Anybody can bring 10 people if they want.
Well, I was in favor of seeking out somebody, and I would be happy with if it was Stephanie or.
Well, maybe they've got somebody in mind that is, they may have we've got somebody that's perfect for that, and they, appoint.
So is it okay if we move forward with that? Are we in agreement with that?
And I will say that there's a lot of challenges in town hall because we've got a primary coming up in September. A lot of battle clerks, a lot of but they're heading up ice because there's a lot of new stuff coming out from Secretary of State, and my wife's in the thick of it, and she's kind of a temporary moderator because her retirement resigned.
He did?
Yep. So it's really scram. There's a lot going on in the town office.
Who's
so
September?
Judy.
Oh.
And then they're gonna get somebody they're gonna appoint, but it falls with supervisors and checklists, and they're gonna be ballot clerks, and these are the, so if you call Northfield Town Hall, and they're gonna say, you want what?
Right.
You want what, when? I don't know, but this primary, there's a lot of stuff going on with voter registrations, purging old lists, the state just keeps saying, hey, just do this, by the way, just do that. So,
Well, Scott has offered to help facilitate if we want to move forward.
yeah.
So I would suggest that we ask the chief to coordinate with Scott.
Yep.
And put up some feelers out there to see.
It's always nice to make the phone call, make the offer.
Right.
Right.
Is that right, Paul?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay.
Is that something going, is that from Bus?
Oh. I don't know why it's doing
It's
that.
your team.
You got to call.
All right.
Got all the money you save.
So you want me to you want me to reach out to Scott?
Yeah,
Okay.
he was there last night, it was part of the discussion.
Yeah, I watched the meeting today, so okay, reach out to Scott.
But again, we backed out of it from the administrative standpoint, because it's going to be Tilton Selectmen and Tim Pearson.
Everything I know about Stephanie's plate, she's over.
Which she used to be what, treasurer for us.
She's
Clerk.
Clerk, yeah. And she did minutes too.
That's what the clerk did.
What day is it today, Tuesday?
Today's Tuesday.
A week from today, I am meeting with Northfield Selectmen to give them an update on the, do you want me to bring it up then too, or just kind of go through Scott and do that committee that way?
I leave it to your best judgment after you talk to Scott.
Okay.
All right, is there anything else from the building committee last night? We're still short a member from Tilton.
Yeah.
All right, and we sort of touched on the Sanborn Road update. I assume that was in relation to that committee, which
Yes.
hasn't met yet. All right, new business.
We already did the public engagement. To start that. Oh, no, wait a minute, that's a different one.
No, I did the first session, but not on post budget. You didn't set dates for the
That's right.
second set of sessions.
Good catch.
For what?
Oh, for,
After you've come up with the budget.
so
You've
probably
got the
late
first
October,
one.
late October, early November. I think we
Yeah.
could, we probably need DPS and Jason here to set those dates.
Yes.
Can we make sure we have that item on the agenda so that we can ask Jason when he thinks that we'll be able to have budget numbers?
Yes.
So we can plan those next meeting?
Yes.
I didn't want to go through that exercise again. I'm getting the first two meetings, it's good, but I don't want you to lose sight of the second.
Yes. Is that right? We have those in October or November.
Yeah.
Might be November, because we might need October.
Yeah, because you've got the end of September and the 1st of October for your
So probably-
informational ones. You get people
November's
in.
short, because you gotta do it before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and it's going to be tight because you've got to work at budget meetings. And
Which is the next item on here, budget work sessions.
Yes.
See, who's our rep on the budget committee?
Jason,
Did you stick that in this time?
you offered.
I always have it.
So, I guess Kathy's trying to get a sense of when you want to start meeting and what days and times.
Oh, no, no, no.
No,
This is for you.
Our workshops.
Oh, ours?
Your
I was
workshops.
trying to get out of that.
Because
Well,
the budget
no.
committee, the budget committee's gonna sit there saying, all right, what's the chief's budget? What's the commissioner's budget? And we're in third position saying,
We haven't done ours. We're not doing it this year. We're just doing the Chiefs.
All right, so when we need to start doing that, well, we have to have. When did we start last year? When do we start having?
You
stuff
should
together?
start in
So
September.
my operating budget is, with the exception of health insurance, property insurance, and a couple other insurances, is basically the operating budget's done. I have not begun on the, but, so I'm basically done. I got a few tweaks, but I don't have much time left on the operating budget. I've been trying to prepare all summer, knowing that we were going to have the apparatus and equipment fund. I've given my staff until Labor Day to give me numbers. That budget probably won't be too long to put together. So we usually start. So I don't know when the insurance numbers usually come out, Kathy. When is that usually?
Health Trust will have their figures to us by, the Health Trust will be by the 16th of October, somewhere in that range.
Okay.
And then Primax gets their information to us in December.
Oh, in December, yeah. So
Yeah.
other than those
we
numbers,
usually wait for that.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
hurry up and wait.
other than those numbers, I'm basically done. Again, I have a few tweaks, but it won't take me long. With the operator.
And by the time we get through, because that takes a while, by the time we get through that, you'll have everything for the apparatus and
Yes.
equipment fund.
Yeah, the apparatus equipment fund will
That's
take
what we
me
did.
about 2 or 3 days to get, once I get, I don't want to start without those numbers.
Right.
It doesn't make sense to start without the budget requests from the staff who are in charge of those projects.
Do you have in your calendar how many meetings we had and when we had them last year?
was confusing because we had,
Well, you've got repair lines in there, and maintenance lines and stuff,
Yeah.
so you're gonna, you have some of that without your captains, right?
oh, yeah, and the,
And the apparatus equipment.
yeah, but I haven't even broached that. You know what? Yeah, it wasn't even worth,
Got it.
We started
Diving
in
into that.
September, and it was like, we did maybe like 8 meetings.
we had 2 different chiefs and then you had one in the
Yeah.
middle that no one was at.
Yeah, we had
So
just
it
me.
was a weird,
It was weird, totally.
And I'm leaving second week of December.
You're leaving the second week of December, let me put on. You're leaving when in September? I mean,
Probably the second
December?
week. So I don't know exactly what day, but the second week.
All right, so we have to have it done by then.
oh, I hope we're done by then.
We should be, yes.
That would be,
We were last year because Paul did the same thing. He left and he was gone through the rest of the month.
I'm hoping the
So,
budget committee's done.
Yeah. It's pretty close to.
Yeah.
yeah, and last year the budget committee was done pretty much then
Pretty
too.
good. I think we, you know, you come in and it's getting inside with the warrant articles.
So if we could start, because it's going to get really busy with all of your informational meetings and everything that we're doing for the building and all those things that we have to do. Sorry guys, but can we start next month, please?
All right, how about, our regular meeting is on the 8th.
On the 8th.
How about the next week?
15th.
The 15th? What is your source?
Jason can't, he's got sewer.
It's all right, we'll make it up.
I was gonna say, I would ask that you could do it any day but Tuesday that week.
16th, Wednesday? Can we do it Wednesday, the 16th? Okay, let's do Wednesday, the 16th.
What were the dates you decided for the public information?
The 29th and the 7th so far. So, we've always, before we have the first budget meeting, workshop, we always hand you out what has been done so far on the budget.
I can have that for the 8th.
Okay, good.
Yep, I'll bring you copies of my budget on the 8th. That way you have a week. You could ask me any questions you have, email me.
Yeah, that
whatever.
way it gives them a chance to look it over and they have tons of questions at
Yeah.
first meeting.
Yeah, because you won't have my rationales for,
No.
you'll just have the number.
Right.
And I tried to have a rationale for every number that's in there this year. It's my goal anyway.
What time? 5:30 still, or 5, or
30, is that right?
30.
5:30 still? Okay.
You want to do 2 weeks later? Well, except if 2 weeks later is
On
Wednesday.
the 29th, that's a Tuesday.
That's the public outreach.
That's the public outreach. And then
Wednesday, the 30th.
Wednesday, the 30th, and then you go into October. But the first Thursday in October is the select board meeting, but that shouldn't affect you.
Is it all right to have 30th? September 30th?
Okay.
That's Wednesday.
Do you want, okay, that will give 3 meetings in a row, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Do you want to have one the week before, just to spread them out, or?
I'm out
Do you
of
wanna
town
do-
the week before.
Oh, you're out of town.
And I have conflicts in October.
Okay, that works for me. I was just trying to, you're going to be here late,
I know.
Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Okay.
Isn't this fun?
Yeah.
Okay, Jason, when do you want to have the first budget committee meeting so that we can get everybody together, figure it out, and go from there?
Who's the chair?
Well, you are until we look.
Well, I'll probably have to send everybody a note.
I will send everybody.
Fill everybody out.
Okay, I will do that.
Yeah. start with that.
Okay.
Do we have to fill any seats or do we have a full thing?
We have a full thing still
Okay.
until further notice.
Okay.
Quite, oh,
Budget committee it's full right now,
yep,
so hopefully nobody leaves. Kidding, right? All right, so I'll shoot an email off. Do you want me to give them any dates to say yay or nay to?
Well, you already know what we've got.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'd send the survey and then see how the future goes.
The week of September 21st, we don't have anything scheduled.
I know, isn't that amazing?
Yeah. Well, everybody could.
Well, it's good because I could be in Michigan that week.
You where?
Michigan.
Oh, that whole week?
Yeah, the 18th through the 27th.
Okay, so I'm gonna put on here, you're out of town.
Yes.
We'll maybe leave that week as a fishing week for her.
Right.
Oh, it is a meeting to sit around.
It's a meeting yeah, and, basically, it's,
Yeah.
it is.
It's a meeting to talk about dates.
And by then you guys will have, you'll have had a chance to at least look at it. So, all right, so I will query the budget committee to see what day of the week works best for them, other than Friday. Nobody wants to do it on Fridays.
Matthew, is that enough for you, or do you want
What?
more dates?
We did a
More
lot.
dates for what? Oh, yeah, we can do more.
Where we've done a lot of Fridays.
Yeah, we did one year and it drove my husband crazy.
Yeah.
All right,
So you want to
so
plan
let's go into October.
2 meetings in October?
Sure. Oh, Tilton Town Hall is closed on Columbus Day. That's a holiday. So that's a fire station building committee meeting with a question mark, because Town Hall's closed. So at your next meeting, you should probably figure that out. Kevin, you got that?
Put it on the agenda.
I'm pretty deeply involved in the equipment auction.
I will do that.
Put it on the agenda for the next.
Yes, I will put that on the agenda.
I think it was.
That was another thing that you brought up at the meeting last night. Kevin asked if I could
You do
coordinate
the
making
agenda?
sure the agendas were.
Yes. He had mentioned that to me when I,
Touch cables. I don't know if he can buy stuff on auction, but he has trouble with his computer.
I know, right?
We gave him a hard time about that last night. I'm gonna keep going with Wednesday nights for budget. Does the 14th and 28th work in October?
That should work.
the
Sean?
28th, I believe that's the budget presentation for Lake Region Mutual Fire Aid Board of Directors, so
You need to go to
I
that
need to go to
meeting.
that. So, but the 14th works for me.
Okay.
Well, let's schedule the 14th and then revisit this next time.
Yes. See how far we've gotten and
Do you have any manifests that we have?
yes, I have two. And we have minutes too. The manifest is going to be quick tonight.
$100 to Brian.
Deductible reimbursement? That's
Oh.
half of what he paid, which is what?
No, come out of that
reduced it
trust
to?
fund.
Yes,
East Coast Emergency. Second.
uniforms. That was nice. I know, right? That is a training.
It's the paramedic
Paramedic
refresher.
refresher.
Is that the $1,500 one?
That one.
It's three paramedics for their annual refresher.
Yes. This
Health
one,
versus insurance.
Correct.
he paid his bill and insurance paid it as well, so we opened,
Reverse.
yes.
You don't have any disposition reports?
No. You did those at the last meeting.
Yeah.
Would you like the minutes?
I like when it's all zeros, and then it adds up to.
I think we just forgot to pay the freight.
It was the freight.
We had paid the bill for the,
Yeah.
that was for
Just the
A3.
freight.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
missed,
56,
yeah.
Nope.
600?
That was 6 tires for engine, which engine, was it 2 or 1?
Two of
That was new Michelin's.
It tells you, what's the account
My-
number on the bill?
It's in the part number.
My brain is, I think it's engine 1. They look exactly the same, so it's just, it was engine 2. Those are state bid tires. We went with Michelin this time because they are much, even with the state bid, they're much cheaper than Goodyear's.
Is that nice white wall?
Is that what they used to have on it?
No, we've always had Goodyear's. Engine 3, we had bad luck with Michelin's. Not that they were bad, it was just they weren't great in the snow. Travis, who from Belknap Tire, is telling us DPW is using these tires and having good luck in the winter. And they were much cheaper than the Goodyear's. So cross fingers and hope he's right. So we'll tell you.
And you replace them because they're worn out?
They're worn out, yeah. No, because they're worn out. The only truck we've ever had to do, we have to do it again. That truck next year, we just, it failed inspection because the tires are too old. There's plenty of tread, but they're,
He
I
paid
remember
it
last
as
time.
insurance.
yeah, it was, these ones are 11 years old.
Reimburse him.
Patient.
You can only be 7
So
years
you
old.
went further.
That'll be in my 2027 budget.
I remember being on the budget committee last time we did that.
Yeah. And I assume the ladder truck will be the same. It's probably coming soon.
It's got two wall.
Yes. No, that's a single axle. The only dual axle we have is this one. It's one of the reasons we went with a 75-foot stick.
Oh, when will you be back?
Much better for backing up driveways.
What do you first week you did,
The fourth?
I'm
They both drive axles?
Okay, so you've gone
You
right
can-
through the, yeah.
You can engage it,
Yeah.
it's like there's a speed limiter. I've never had to, have you ever had to engage that?
Then my dog kicks me.
I actually don't even think it engages it, I think it just locks the drive axle, right?
I think it engages the second one, doesn't it?
Does
So
it?
the commissioners meeting is.
I'd have to,
Differential on.
I should do that, I'll do that.
No, I'm talking,
All right.
that's, you'll be gone for that.
7:30, do you want to do minutes, or would you like to adjourn?
Pick to adjourn.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
7:31, and we're adjourned. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, you can have a good night.
You too.